Hello, everyone. Good day, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Today, we are going to study something about news trading strategy. It's a very popular one and also very advanced news trading strategy. With this new trading strategy, we only need to have a news calendar that we can go there and then find our data on it to use for our news. And most times, a lot of traders do use the Bloomberg or sometimes the forexfactory.com calendar. So without wasting much time, we are going to do something about the actual methodology used in trading financial instrument or currency equities based on economical news reports. Major news reports start with spikes or strong moves, which is an advantage for traders to make pips without hassle. During the day or week, a lot of news comes out, which creates a lot of opportunities for news traders. So not everybody is a news trader, but those who love to trade the news. Do not worry about the indicators on my screen. They are just to keep the candles for becoming blurred. I use it to support it so it will not become blurred. There are 5 minute news events that we mainly consider because they have more impact on the particular currency or particular instrument. The other particular instrument or currency are the central bank rate decision, the unemployment rate, and then FOMC meeting, GDP, and then the CPI inflation data. So these are what we need to consider. These are the major news that have impact on our currencies. And then this is how it works. It's strictly based on forecasted or consensus data, actual and then release data. So before we can trade the news, we first of all have to go onto the calendar, and this is the calendar that we are going to look at the forexfactory.com. When you get to the forexfactory.com, make sure it's forexfactory.com. Immediately when you type it, it will appear their calendar. Yes, it will appear, and then you go on there. You look for the date. You change the date. The date can be found here. You change the date to suit your current date, and then also you change the time. You should use your local time as over here. The time is over here. You click on it, you tap on it, and then you go and change it, and then you go and then change. For the actual, you have to go and filter. There are a lot of news, but you want to filter for an actual major news. So you go here onto this filter button over here or sign over here. You just hedge on it, and then it will come here, and then you come and select here. You come and select your options here. This means it has no impact at all. This box tick over here means it has no impact at all. This one per se, it has no impact at all. This one has little impact, and this one has a medium impact. And this one, the red box here means major impact. It has a major impact. This news has a major impact. So I am going to uncheck everything and then only check the major impact. So because I want to trade a major impact news, so I will uncheck all of them. I'll uncheck all of them and then allow the major impact over there, and then I will apply the filter. Right, you can choose the sort of news you want or the sort of news you want over here. So I choose this in the growth, the inflation with the unemployment, the central bank, and the bonds over here. And I also choose the sort of currencies I want to. So I chose all the 8 major currencies because the 8 major currencies are the one that has more impact. But anytime there's a news, any related currency or any related instruments can be traded, so far as it is related to news. So you apply the filter over here. You come and apply filter over here. It is saving. It has saved. So when we come on the dashboard over here on the forexfactory.com, you only just let's look at one of the news over here let's check on the unemployment rate on New Zealand. That was Tuesday, 4 February, New Zealand. You just hit it, and then here we have the unemployment rate. If you want to know more about it, you can just click on this folder over here. It will present you with more. Now we are going to compare two things over here. We are going to compare the forecast and then the actual. The forecast and the actual. And then we are also, the previous is what happened previously, or the previous data. We are going to compare the forecast and then the actual data all together. And then when we get it, if it is the actual is high or high on it, it means it has had a bad impact on that particular currency. But if it is low, it is good. Let's look at this also. Let's look at the AUD. AUD also have the same thing. This one has no data. Let's look at the cash rate on AUD again. We can see the forecast and then the actual were the same as compared to the previous two. Immediately when you check and you see it, here's the time it will be released. Here the particular currency it will have impact on, and then here it's high impact on the red box. Here is it, the time, the particular currency, and then it's high impact. And then this is the actual forecast, the previous forecast, and then the forecast itself. And I told you, as I said, we are going to compare only the actual and then the forecast. So after you have finished, you come to your board, you come to your trading dashboard, or as I put it, trading platform, and then you come execute your targets over there. So this is our trading platform here. Now, what first strategy are we going to use? We are going to use the advanced news. Now remember that most news platform faces a lot of challenges, especially the brokers. So you must know your broker you are using. Some brokers, they will widen up spread whenever there's a news. Yes, they widen up spread. Some brokers too, they will slippage the price. You are trying to enter a particular price, but then realize it has gone above or below, far above or far below. Sometimes the platform will be frozen. It will frozen automatically, that you can't do anything to it, and it will take some time before your entries will be executed. So you have to know your broker you are using, if your broker supports news trading, or if your broker does not cheat in news. Now let's look at the strategy we are going to use now. There was a particular news that was released, a certain news here that was released. Yes, this is a particular nice form. Now let's look at this one. What we are waiting for over here, or what we are looking for over here. We are looking that we wait for the price, or we wait for the news to be released. As we went on forex.com, what we saw over there. After the news, we wait for the initial spike, and this is the initial spike. This is the initial spike. This red candle over here is the initial spike. We wait for it. After it has finished spiking, we now come after the wait for the initial spike and then the retracement, and this is the retracement. We wait for another retracement over here. This place is the retracement. We place our sell order. Our sell order over here. Our sell order over here. As I said, when you go on your chart, you wait for the initial spike, which is this candle, this particular candle, this long bearish candle, or the red candle. After that, the first candle, the initial spike, wait for the retracement, and these are the retracement. You can see that there's a blue or there's a green retracement over here. After that, we wait for the retracement. After the retracement, then you sell the breakout. We are going to catch up with the breakout, and this is the breakout. So we sell over here. So if it is here, this is the initial spike. After it has crosses After you wait for the initial spike, you have to wait when the candlestick breaks the low of the initial spike. So this is the low of the initial spike. This candle has break it. This particular candle has bricked the initial. This particular candle has bricked the initial spike. So we put our sell order over here. It is simple as that. As simple as that. Now your stop loss should be at the middle of the initial spike. So your stop loss should be at the middle of this spike over here. At the middle of this spike. Can you see where my hands are? At the middle of this spike. That's where your stop loss should be. And then your take profit should be 2 times the stop loss. So your TP will be 2 times. So if you place it at the middle here, then your TP will be 2 times. So you wait. You can see it sold over here 2 times over here, and it will hit your TP over here. Simple. Look at the profit you made from down here, from top here to the down here. It's a big profit. You hit your TP, you are off. Now let's look at the second strategy. The second strategy is called the news pending. The news pending. What do you do with the news pending? The news pending, this is the way you trade it. You enter a buy stop and a sell stop orders. A minimum of 1 minute or 4 minutes before the news. A minimum between 1 minute or 4 minutes before the news. Now, your buy stop and your sell stop, you open 2 orders. That means it's like a hedging. You are hedging. Your buy stop and your sell stop the buy stop should be below the current candle before the spike or before the news, 10 pips below. And then the buy stop should be 10 pips above this candle. So you can see it over here. This candle and then the other candle over here. 10 pips above, 10 pips below. So if you are using the 1 minute chart, after that, when the news is released, if one of the orders is triggered, close the second order. If one of the orders is triggered, you close the second order. Move the trade to break even and trade your position. So when you are in profit and it's going to profit, you move your trade to break even or you take the profit. Close position after 1.5 hours. You close the position after 1.5 hours. After 1.5 hours, you close the position. Your stop loss, use the buy stop interval price for your sell order. And then the sell stop interval price for the buy order. It means you have hedged these 2 orders. For your stop loss, use the buy stop interval. That's the buy stop where you place your buy stop. You use it where you place your buy stop. You use it for your sell order, and when you place your sell stop, you use for the buy order as your stop loss. Now your TP, that's your take profit, should be 6 times the initial stop loss. Your TP should be 6 times the initial stop loss. If your initial stop loss was 10, then your TP will be 60 pips. If you have not hit your TP after 1.5 hours, then trail your position or close your trade. Either you trade your position or you close. That's your TP. 6 times the stop loss. So if your stop loss was 10, then you multiply by 6. That should be your take profit. Now remember, there are high impact news. High impact news, you will use the 5 minutes chart. The high impact news, you use the 5 minutes chart. And then the low impact news, you use the 1 minute chart. You use the 1 minute chart. Example of the low impact news, or the example of the low impact news is the GBP, the GDP, or the CPI. We will use the 1 minute chart. And then example of the bigger news is the interest rate, which you use the 5 minutes chart. It depends on what you are doing or what you want to do. I hope this will help for the news traders. Thank you for your cooperation.